don't even know if I want to know how to. Like, what do I do? How does one have fun?
Hey team, and welcome to episode 5 of Jeans and a Nice Top. We have passed the halfway point of the first series. Can you believe it? I'm so shocked. I don't really know how to process this information. And I know a lot of you are probably going to be listening to this release hungover. And what better way than to listen to the eloquent and beautiful voice of Aimee Victoria Long. Even her name, this is just giving you a premise of I could listen to her voice all day. She's just one of those people that you love to listen to. And not only that, she is a brand founder of the Body Beautiful Method, a PT online coach for Pilates, barre and strength and core conditioning. She has an all-round balanced bougie attitude to fitness and well-being and is somebody that I really aspire and look up to. She has a really modest outlook on her progress and where she is in life, but she's also very driven, a dog mom, and just a bougie queen. In this episode, we discuss everything from our favourite skincare, lockdown love, starting a fitness journey when you may have fallen off the bandwagon. I'm holding my hands up here. I'm definitely an ebb and flow kind of gal when it comes to fitness and eating well. #balance. Implementing manifestation strategies without feeling like Baby Yoda. And most importantly, there is a guest feature from 2 of the cutest doggos ever. And if that isn't a reason to follow Aimee on Instagram and realise the benefits of animals for mental health, I don't know what is. As always, don't forget to rate, review and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Smile to Health and at Jeans and a Nice Top Pod. Have a good hangover weekend, chicas. Ciao! Hey team, welcome to another episode of Jeans and a Nice Top. Today I am blessed with the fabulous Aimee Victoria Long. I feel like I have to full name her because it just completes the whole level of bougie and fabulousness that she is. She is a PT and online fitness coach, the founder of Body Beautiful Method and Level Up London. She's a trainer of Live Now Fitness. She's featured in everything from Vogue to Women's Health. And most importantly, she's a dog mom of Gizmo and Dodger, the 2 little pups you will ever see in your life, which you will find out when you follow her on Instagram. But overall, she is one to watch. You don't want to miss out on this one. And I'm really excited to start this episode. I always feel so corny doing that, but I've had a babble. But do you want to actually go into a bit more detail on who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I mean, you can probably actually hear my dogs in the background, so I apologise for that if you can hear them. They are very loud, even the small one, the Chihuahua, who is called Gizmo, whiny, barking. They want all my attention. So that's probably like my biggest achievement, that I am a dog mum.
The best achievement ever.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so happy. But yeah, I am a trainer. I've been a trainer for about 6 years now, 6, nearly 7 years, because I'm 27. Maybe I'll take a year off because of COVID. So we'll be turning 28 anytime soon.
Oh gosh, I'm doing exactly the same.
Because, I'm actually going to have 2 birthdays in lockdown, which is absolutely dire.
When's your birthday?
The 30th of March. So
that really
I'll
sucks.
have 2 birthdays in lockdown. So I'm still going to stay 26.
100%. You should be like the Queen and have like a half birthday just in the summer.
Oh, maybe I'm going to do that when we actually get to go on holiday. What were we meant to be talking about? Oh, me, what I do, but other than being a dog mum. I train people. I have a nice mix of clients, from celebrity clients to some members of the royals to people that come to my classes. We actually met at Bodyism because we used to train there together.
Yeah, we did.
Which is so cool. And yeah, I guess it's just grown. It's actually grown a lot for me during lockdown, which I'm very happy about.
Oh, I'm glad. I feel like people have really started to take fitness seriously in the lockdown because it's actually given them time to focus on themselves and go, actually, I'm probably not looking after my body as much as I should, and like looking for the support.
Yeah, no, exactly. I completely agree. A lot of people have come for one-on-one sessions because they've noticed that they've become like really kyphotic, being at the laptops all the time, or they just feel really tight in their lower back and tight in the fronts of the legs. So they've really wanted to kind of find that balance between working and finding health, and noticing that, being fit and active will actually prevent them from getting kind of illnesses and colds, help with their immune system. So yeah, people are really appreciating the whole health scene now, which is great.
That's so good. And it's Pilates. Is that what you predominantly do, or do you do other forms of training as well. I mean, I love them. I'm absolutely obsessed with bar. Obsessed with it.
Dancer, you're like fabulous.
We
I
say
can
this.
aspire to be like that.
Yeah, I can like cheat it. That's the problem. So it's like, yeah, I love it, but the burn of bar is something you'll never experience lifting weights. It's like internal, like your whole body shakes.
And that's so true. And I love it. And I love it when guys come to my class thinking, oh, Amy,
Yeah.
it's so easy. And it's actually really, really tough. And they're like, what the fuck?
They're like, do you even lift bra?
Plie. And they're like, what's the plie? Oh my God, it hurts so much. I didn't actually start off doing bar and Pilates. I used to do strength and conditioning when I first started as a trainer. But I was approached by one of the studios in London that said, would you like to train for us? I thought, why not? I mean, I don't have two left feet. I did used to go to stage school. This is why I'm so open like, out there.
I love this. I didn't know that you went to stage school. What one did you go to?
I went to one up in Yorkshire. So I'm from Yorkshire, just outside of York. Yeah, so I went to one as well, which was actually really good and I loved it. And it was something I actually did want to pursue when I was younger. I wanted to go into the West End, but then I thought, no, got scared. It was more like, I don't think I'm good enough, so I won't do it. So I'll go to university. And then I ended up being in like leaving all my uni stuff, like I focused on business and fashion side of business. Then I ended up being a PT anyway. So, you know,
full circle, exactly meant to be.
Exactly. Yeah. But from the strength and conditioning and working in a bar studio, I kind of realized how much I loved bar and how great Pilates is, just kind of like not just for rehabilitation, but as a workout. It's so good for core conditioning and it prevented me getting injuries when I did do my strength training. And now I've kind of moved away from the whole strength world and more into kind of like a holistic health.
I love that, like a full rounded 360.
Yeah, exactly.
You said really are underestimated as fitness, and like you said, there's such good exercises because anyone can do them no matter like where you are in your fitness journey, but also like you said, it's good for preventing injury. And I know like bar and Pilates were great for me whilst I was like in my full-time dance training. Too much cardio or strength training on top of it, I was just getting injured left, right and centre. So it was so good. But that's interesting that you started off in the strength and then made the transition across.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I love all of it, but I do really love bar in particular. And I think I love focusing on women during the pregnancy phase. And yeah, there's so many elements. And I think it's a great workout.
I'm going to start off with a quick fire with you. I'm asking everyone at the moment, what are you currently watching and what are you currently reading? It's like some tips for everyone.
Currently watching, I think it's called Behind Her Eyes. Or His Eye.
Oh, I've seen this advertised. It's on my to watch list. Tell us more.
Good. It's very, very good. I mean, I've just finished it this morning. So I won't give it away, but it's a very different ending to what you'd think it would be.
Oh, okay. A plot twist.
Plot twist. Very interesting. Don't know how to describe it without giving too much away, but definitely worth a watch. It's like a series. You'll get through it. I think it's like 8 episodes.
Perfect. So, yeah, literally easy binge.
And currently reading, well, actually, I'm not reading anything. I listen to a lot of like podcasts or books because I find that I'm trying to do 2 things at the same time. So I'm typing something whilst listening to something. I mean, I should actually take the time and read a physical book because it's so good for you. But I listen.
But it's so hard when you're busy to like pin yourself down and just sit there sometimes and read.
Exactly.
I think.
But I know it's so good for like you and your self-care, and I do really enjoy it. But for me, I listen to like things on meditation and kind of like motivational speeches and kind of like soulful stuff, I guess.
Nice. What's your favourite, say, podcast or audiobook too at the moment?
Let me find my phone and I'll tell you all the best ones that I love.
Yes, please. Just discovered, I'm very late to the trend, Brené Brown. I don't know why it's taken me so long. So Jay Shetty.
That's one for me too.
Yeah, he is such a good speaker and actually makes things really accessible, I think, for the younger generation.
I love Gabrielle Bernstein. I've got like 4 of her books on here.
Yes.
The Secret is on here too. Dr. Rangan. Rise Sister Rise by Rebecca Campbell.
Oh, I've not heard of that one. What's that about?
Basically like spiritual sisters and how we all need to bring each other up rather than bring each other down. So much space in the world for everyone to flourish. Just because someone in your sector is doing what you want to do, and they seem to be appearing or to be doing better than you, they're not, and there's still a space for you to encourage them and you to still receive what you want. Another book that I listened to called Girl Code, by Cara, it's a very similar thing as well, but it's so interesting, and I think it's so encouraging to hear that you can progress in whatever way you want to.
Exactly. I think it's a really refreshing perspective, because I think in the 21st century we're made to feel like there's not enough space, or only certain people can make it, or like you said, especially in any kind of creative or really popular industries like the performing industry, you're always pinned against one another and compared and like put side by side. And actually, like you said, there is space for everyone, because you're going to do it just because someone's doing the same thing as you. Like say a bar, and there's another bar instructor, they're not going to have the same life experiences, the same training that you had. They're not going to bring the same opinions and teaching mechanisms that you will. So,
and people are just different. Sometimes one person could have more qualifications, but you just don't warm to them in the same way. It really is very independent on the person and like your connection. I think she's great. And and I love the subtle art of not giving a fuck.
That is a great book. I read that during lockdown 1.0.
1.0, number 1,000.
Like what even? I don't even know what day it is anymore.
It's lost. It's
honestly just lost. And I'm exactly the same. I turned 25 in lockdown, just pretending that I'm not. Didn't happen. I am not approaching 30. I'm not.
I'm closer to 30 than you are. Crazy. Can't believe it. I'm going to be 28 in a month. That's, for me, that's like so old.
Yeah.
Like, that's old. Like, who is she?
So stupid.
Has she got a shit together yet? Who is she?
Who is this girl?
I think there's a lot of expectations that come with being in your later 20s.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Even from my mum, she's like, so, Josh, be nice to him because I want to be a grandma soon, and, we want to get you married. And it's like, wow, that is that pressure before 30 to be married and have a child. It's like, there really shouldn't be any more, but older generations, different cultural backgrounds, there's really that pressure, and
it's terrifying, because I don't know if you believe in star signs and stuff, but my main star sign is a Sagittarius, and I'm such a free spirit, so the idea of being like locked down and pinned in one place is absolutely terrifying. I don't want to buy a house and be married with like a child I have to look after. I still want to travel the world and make mistakes and figure out who I am.
I know, it is scary. It is really scary, actually. But I think at least when being in London, there isn't as much pressure. Like,
yes, 100%.
40, which aren't married and don't have children yet. And they're like, Aimee, you're so young. I'm like, oh, thanks, tell me again. Tell me I'm so young again.
Just tell me more.
I'm fabulous.
It's so true. Maybe that's why I've gravitated towards here, because I always call it the city of dreams. I know that's so corny, but I always wanted to be the London version of Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it also is a little bit Peter Pan syndrome with the men.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
The choice of men is a very interesting one. Speaking of love, though, let's talk about your lockdown romance.
Yeah, that's cute, isn't it?
It's super cute. I love it. I love that there's these little pockets of really good stories, and like people finding people when the world has gone to shit, so to speak.
Yeah, it is. It's sweet, to be fair. I mean, initially we went on a few dates were just amazing, and it was when we came out of lockdown, so in the October time.
Nice.
Yeah, we started dating in October, and that was when you could start to go for restaurants and drinks, and I think we went on 2 or 3 dates, and then we said, oh, we're going into lockdown, but for November, and it's just going to be a month. And I was like, oh no, so what are we going to do? Because he was living with his parents in New Forest and coming up for training, and then going back down. And then I was just like, just want to stay at my house for like a month. And then that's turned into forever.
Yay, that's so cute.
3 weeks. He's moved in, and now we're at the end of February. So yeah, it's about 4.5 months now, isn't it?
How exciting! And I bet the time has just flown by, like you've not even realised.
But it's kind of weird because we were saying that we've done everything backward. We're like living together like an old married couple, and then we're going back into the real world to actually start dating
and enjoy dating. I'm exactly the same, because I met my boyfriend in October, and we had like the odd few dates, but most of our relationship has been locked down, like you said, building furniture, watching movies, cooking. We're like an old married couple, like we have matching slippers, disgusting. It's going to be mental when we can actually like go out and enjoy ourselves again. And
I don't even know if I want to know how to. Like, what do I do? How does one have fun? Not brush their hair? I don't know.
How does one do this anymore? I know we're actually going to have to wear actual clothes, not fitness or loungewear. And I'm just really not. That's the worst thing. Like the idea of putting jeans on right now, too much.
I mean, I feared that before because I just wear gym clothes. And I've taken gym clothes a step further to the baggiest joggers, hoodies I can find. If they're even better. Even better. And now how do I leave this boy aesthetic that I've now moved into?
That you've adopted.
And bring it to real life, going for dinner, nice places. Don't know.
I know. Although I am excited for some of the girly things, like getting my nails done, and I can't wait to sort my roots out because they're shocking.
Can't wait to get my hair done.
It's the little things, isn't it? I really miss my hairdresser. Like, she's my fairy godmother in this time of darkness.
Eyebrows, eyelashes, everything needs done.
Oh, full glam. I actually I've been wanting eyelash extensions for so long, but I always chicken out of them because I'm convinced that I'm going to look like a donkey.
No, you'd look great. I used to get them all the time. The only thing that I found annoying is that I really love to wash my face properly. Like I use like exfoliants and things, but you have to be careful around your eyelashes. So that's the only thing that puts me off them. And also because I like to sweat a lot when I train, like really hard.
Yeah, same.
That's a bit annoying because one will flake off or whatever and drop into your eye and like
I'm blind.
I love it. So how did you meet your lover boy?
On Bumble.
I love this. Mine was on Hinge, which is I'd never have you dating apps before?
Yeah, I had, but I'd kind of got to the point where I was like, I'm actually sick of dating apps. They're ridiculous. They're not for me. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm bored. What do I do? You know, when you're like kind of watching TV and like on your phone, like, oh, I'll have a quick look. Did a few scrolls, and then he thought I was a catfish because I didn't really write anything in my bio. I had 3 pictures and I never attached it to my Instagram. It was just like me with a few pictures which didn't say anything. And he was like, are you real? It's like, yeah, I am.
I am a real person.
Yeah.
You're just being demure and secretive so they have to get to know you.
Exactly. I don't want them to know everything about me and scare them away.
I feel that. I like have to ease them in with the weirdness bit by bit. And then I'm like, it's too late. You're trapped now.
Exactly. I've got you. Hook, line and sinker. You cannot leave me now. You thought I was all cool and glam and fabulous. I'm not. I'm a weirdo that just sits with a dog in boys' clothes.
That sounds like the dream. Also, I'm so gutted that my listeners can't see right now, but Gizmo is sat here like an absolute legend, just looking all cute and fabulous. He's been poorly, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been really poorly. Bless him.
What was wrong with him?
Well, we don't know how it happened, but he's a crazy dog usually. He's like jumping from the sofa to my bed, and my bed's actually really high. We'll play with the other dog. We'll hump the other dog's head non-stop. Like, he's honestly crazy. So, like, a lovely temperament, will never bite or bark annoyingly. He just whines a little bit. But somehow, whenever he was playing, he's hit his head and fractured his skull. And the little, fractures has caused a little bleed in his brain. So he had seizures because of it and has been in the hospital for a whole week.
Oh my gosh.
And now he's back and I have to give him so much medication. Poor little guy.
Oh, bless him. Just because he's a little daredevil.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Was Gizmo your first dog?
He's not my first dog. I have another Chihuahua, but that other dog with my parents now.
Would you say that, because I know it's a real difficult one in like cities to get pets, so would you say that 1, it's worth it, 2, what made you get a dog in the first place, and do you think it's really helped your like mental health and stuff in lockdown?
Oh yeah, definitely mental health for sure, like 1000%. The first lockdown I was by myself and I thought I would be so down if I didn't have Gizmo. Just to like feel someone who'll jump on my bed and be like, Mum, wake up, feed me, take me out. With me.
Give me attention.
Yeah, exactly. So that otherwise I would have just stayed in bed all day and moped or whatever else. Because initially I found it really, really hard to transition to solely online. I did a few PTs before here and there because I have a few clients in Saudi Arabia. To bring all the classes online, to not know what was going to happen, for it to initially 2 weeks and then to go on for absolute months was really hard for me.
So much instability as well, and I think the nature of being a PT is it's so social. Like that's one of the perks of the job, isn't it? You get to meet all these incredible people. And
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think that was tough. So for the first lockdown, he's definitely helped me so much. And just in general, like I'm quite an anxious person and he's just like helps with my anxiety. He's literally like my therapy dog. He's
I
just
love
Yeah,
that.
I love him so much. He's so sweet. And I love my other new dog as well that I have that we rescued. I have a dog with Josh now. That's how serious it is. We got a dog together.
Oh my God, it's legit. Guys, you've
It's
heard
like
it here.
it's like where's my ring, basically.
honey, pin him down. The one way to make a guy commit is to get a dog.
Just waiting for the
Maybe
ring.
yeah, you see the big diamond now.
Whenever that happens, great. But it is hard. I know it's very hard with dogs in London. I'm really lucky because Gizmo's so portable.
Yeah.
Or before when I was out in real life in London, that I could take him to clients' houses, could bring him to the
Yeah.
park. I could take him to some studios as well with me. So it was really good and I was really lucky. And now I have Dodger. It's a bit harder, but Josh and I can manage it between us. Another thing that's good about the job is that I am really flexible, that I choose my own hours, that I
Yeah, that's
choose
nice.
to have time to work from home and walk them and whatever else. And thankfully both of the breeds that I've chosen aren't the biggest walkers. They're not a dog that needs to go on for a run or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely worth it. Even though they take a lot of your time and they cause you much anxiety when they're sick, it's definitely worth it.
Defo worth it in the end. They're like a part of the family. My housemate brought her dog down for the week and it literally changed our life. Her name's Perry. She looks like a miniature Springer, but I think she's like a working Springer or something like that. I'm not very good with dog breeds. Oh my goodness, it literally changed my life. To have like this animal that just loved you like 24 hours of the day was just the best feeling.
They're always happy to see you.
Yeah, that's what I love about dogs. I feel like cats are a bit...
They're like meh.
They're just a bit of a diva, and it's like I'm a diva in myself. I don't need an extra diva in the house.
Yeah, too much.
Too much drama in one place, like one queen at a time, please. But a dog is just the embodiment of joy.
Literally. I love them so much. All of them.
All of them. Every single, I know. And also I found, I don't know if you find this, but when you walk the dog, people talk to you.
Oh yeah, they do.
And people don't talk to each other in London ever.
No, ever. Even on the tube where it's like a written rule that you can't talk to anyone on the tube.
Yeah, don't look at us, don't talk.
Yeah, which is really nice. It breaks down that wall that seems to be in place here.
Yeah, I feel it's like I'm a dog person, I'm approachable. Here we go.
Exactly. I'm a nice person.
Yeah. You can understand now why guys quite often have photos with them with a pet, because it's like a magnet to girls.
It's cheeky, and usually half the time it's not even their dog.
Yeah, it's someone else's.
Yeah.
False news, false advertising. I've been cheated here.
Sorry, this could only move forward if you get a dog now. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we can't continue dating or whatever else.
I know. I keep dropping hints, but I'm not getting anywhere with mine at the moment. We'll get there eventually.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
One day you just buy one, like, oops, I went to go shopping and this happened.
Just dropped into my basket, sorry. Going back to fitness, you said that obviously the nature of your job is super flexible. Is that what drew you to wanting to become a PT and be part of the fitness world, or?
Not really, actually. In all honesty, I got into being a PT because I had a really strong fitness background when I was younger. And when I came to London, I came to university and studied at London College of Fashion, and it's not a fitness
Nice.
school. So I was like, what am I going to do? Should I join a gym? This was like 7 years ago. And I just found it was that point when girls started going to gym properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That whole strength and conditioning kind of competition type thing
Yeah.
boomed, especially in London. And I think I was just really daunted. I was quite anxious, like what do I do in the gym? I don't know what to do. So I got a personal trainer, and he actually became such a good friend, like who's so sweet. He's
That's
so nice.
lovely.
It's like, you actually don't really need me. You should probably just do the PT course.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, probably should. And I just did it because I was really interested in how I can learn more and where to take it and whatever in terms of my own training. And then from there, I started putting a few things on Instagram when I became qualified on the exercises that I was doing. And that was when a bar studio in London approached me and said, would you like to teach for us? We can train you in the whole style of bar and whatever else. And then I stayed with them, and I stayed with that brand for about 4 years and became their head trainer, and then kind of branched off. And that's when I kind of wanted to do my own thing and do my own brands and stuff, and then started with bodyism slightly just to be within a studio still and still see people and still teach classes before I do my own thing. And then lockdown happened a year later, and
then the virtual life happened. I love that. It's like it evolved really organically, and so then your passion has just stayed. It's not come from, oh, I want to do this like for the wrong reasons, or it's because you actually love what you do.
Yeah, which I'm really lucky for, because there's so many people that are in jobs that they absolutely hate.
Yeah. What did you study at London College of Fashion, if you don't mind me asking?
I studied a degree and master's in production management because I really wanted to design not a fashion label, but a gym, like a gym wear brand.
Nice.
And I did want swimwear as well. But I just thought when I'd finished, it was kind of a saturated market. That's something I do want to go back into doing, but I kind of want to establish my name within the industry and kind of like have following, so it's more easy to market, I guess.
It's more seamless to build the brand. It's really interesting because I feel everything. I'm a big believer that what's meant for you will stay, and doors that aren't meant to open won't, but the ones that will are there for a reason. And it sounds like it's quite cyclical. So even though you went the fashion route, it's all interwoven within the fitness world, which has brought you back to where you're meant to be. And actually, you'll end up dipping your toes in the fashion later on. And I like that because I feel at school we're not sold that story. We're sold that you have to do one thing for the rest of your life, and if you're miserable, then oh well.
It's like, especially the school I went to, it's like you have to be a lawyer or a vet to be successful.
Oh gosh, 100%.
If you don't do that, then you've actually failed in life. And if you don't make set amount of money by being those types of things, then you're literally terrible. Whereas like you can actually make probably more money doing something you enjoy, which is good.
And have the balance, of life and being able to live your life as well, rather than being like a slave to the 9 to 5. I definitely don't want to get into that trap.
No, exactly. More flexible. Sometimes you will work ridiculous hours, but it's for you, which is why I think it's so great.
Yeah, because you don't mind doing it then. Like, I'm doing a yoga teacher training starting in April. I'm so excited.
That's cool.
I'm so buzzing. I've wanted to do it for so long. So I'm doing it over 6 months. So I think it's Wednesday to Saturday, 1 week every month. So I was debating whether to do like a 1 month intensive or to spread it out. But because the nature of my life is like things pop up last minute, it's easier for me to split it. But I'm so excited about it. I'm nervous because I feel like you just never feel ready.
Oh, don't be nervous. You'll be great, honestly. It's just like having the confidence.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the biggest reason why I wanted to do it. So I've been practicing yoga for, blimey, since I was like 16, 17, like on and off. And I don't like do it for all of the fancy inversions and things like that. It was just to move my body and feel good. So I know the stuff. It's just, I think, having someone confirm to you, isn't it, that you actually know what you're talking about?
Yeah. And then getting that confidence to, I guess, teach.
I know, I'm really buzzing. I finally bit the bullet and I'm doing it. So being a personal trainer, and I guess especially because you train such high profile people as well, do you find that there's quite a lot of pressure to constantly be on top form and to look a certain way or to behave a certain way?
I can see why there would be. I used to teach at a really, really nice studio in London. Not Bodyism, because we've mentioned them, which is very high profile, Bodyism. I'm not saying it's not. But there was another studio that I was at, and I kind of felt like I had to go and wear makeup and be in my best shape ever, make sure I had every designer item that I owned on me to walk into the studio, and it was quite daunting. But I think as I've got older, I just really don't give a shit. Like, I know what I'm talking about, so if you don't like it, just simply fuck off, in all honesty. Like,
I love that so much.
Like, half the time
it's so true.
Yeah, like, but who does? Like, most people, if we're being honest, like me in lockdown, I get up, I'm still half asleep, I haven't washed my face, I've probably quickly downed some water, my hair's like how I slept in it, I smash out a workout, I'm dripping with sweat. I don't want to be in full makeup, a matching set, and
also what I have found is that people don't find it relatable. When I turn up to like a PT session, yes, I've made an effort to be clean and I look presentable when I'm going
of course,
one-on-one, but they don't actually want me to be in a full face of makeup with my hair curled and me look perfectly trimmed, because it's like, it's not relatable to them and their lives, and a lot of the time they do just want to be a certain way. Yes, I do have certain people in like the spotlight, I guess, that have a lot of pressure on themselves to be a certain weight. And I guess I used to feel daunted by that because I was bigger, and being like their trainer and being bigger, I'd be like, I feel like really awkward with this. But I think they've always said that they've aspired to have more of a body like mine. They just feel that they can't, if that makes sense. That they have to be absolutely a size 0, not only because of what the comments they might get just because of the bad angles of the pictures that they might get when they're out in public, or
Yeah.
video shoots or whatever they do. So yeah, I guess it's a tricky one, but I think I felt it more when I was in person teaching classes in studio, because I think having a mixed race background, I naturally am more muscular. I do have bigger thighs, and that's not because I'm fat and I eat like shit. It's just because that
No,
I'm naturally
just
built, and this is
genetics.
my healthy
Yeah.
weight. It's just my genetics, and I am a muscular person. Yeah, I think as you get older, you kind of move away from those things, and you just appreciate that your body's healthy, that it can do what it wants to do. That
Yeah.
you move away from it, I think. But I do see how it can be very daunting, and how people will think, well, if I'm a PT, I must be in the best shape ever. I must be shredded. I must have a six pack. I must be a size 0. I must be under whatever kg. I must drink said amount of protein. It's really not like that. And I'm really happy to see that the whole industry is changing. It's moving away from
That's
that.
a massive
And
positive.
people are more looking into, what's good for them, a balance. And that's what life's about, really.
Exactly. It's about I always talk about the 360 perspective. It's not just what you eat and how you move. It's actually emotionally how those things make you feel. So if you're working out for the wrong reasons, you shouldn't be doing it. Like, I'm not a runner. I'll never be a runner. I hate it. You could not pay me to do it. But get me into a bar class or a dance class or a HIIT session, and I could do it for hours. I absolutely love it. The same as I love a juice baby or a kale salad, but I could also demolish a cheesecake with a fork. So it's that balance, isn't it? And I think it's so refreshing to hear that somebody as high profile as you encourages that, and that the fitness industry is changing.
Yes, it's definitely changing, which is so good to see.
Yeah, and I bet it's nice for you as a trainer as well.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. There isn't that pressure on trainers, because I remember when I first started training, and people would critique other trainers like, "Oh my gosh, she's really big for a trainer. Clearly, she doesn't know what she's talking about."
Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah,
shocking.
yeah. There's a lot of criticism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You think about a word too much, and you're like, oh gosh, I don't even know what that is anymore.
God, yeah, but yeah, it's so good that everything is changing.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to be functional and happy.
Yes, which is the key to life, I think.
Exactly.
What would be your top tips for those who maybe have kind of shied away from fitness because they don't feel as confident in that area, but they do actually want to start a fitness journey and get things going? What would be your tips for them to enable that?
I think for starters, maybe lean out to a friend, because I find that a lot of time people are daunted by a personal trainer, like working one-on-one with someone. A lot of people do find daunting.
Yeah.
So maybe reach out to a friend to join a class together. And I think what's so good about lockdown is this whole accessibility to virtual classes.
100%.
Join classes with friends together and switch off your camera. So it's like, that's the starting phase, you might not want the whole class to see you. You might not want the trainer to see you. Obviously, that comes with its downfall, because they can't correct you in your form and whatever. But as a starting point for you to really build your confidence, knowing your friend is in the class doing the same as you, and knowing that no one can see what you're doing, but you're still getting that same workout, is amazing. It doesn't matter if you do something for like 5 seconds and need a rest. It really doesn't matter. It's just getting going. And then I think just from that point, notice how good you feel within your body, how nice it is to actually move your body, and then start to pencil out when you should be doing it. Like, put it into your diary, like book it in like it's going to be a meeting, because sometimes we don't train when we should.
Yeah.
And it works both ways, that you overtrain, but then times you undertrain, and that movement, you need to move your body also to feel good. And the more that you sit, and the more that you're lethargic and you feel down and depressed, the more you're kind of putting in yourself in this little hole that you actually need to get out of. And
then the behavior perpetuates itself, because you just get stuck in this cycle of, oh, I'm tired, I don't have the energy, I don't have the time, so then I don't do the things that actually make me feel good. Whereas, like you said, penciling in that time like you would a coffee with a friend or a meeting is such a good way to look at it.
360 approach, because actually the 360 works on both ways. When you're seeing, well, all I've done is sit on my ass, look at a screen for 14 hours on the Zoom calls, sat at my desk, ate probably a lot of shit because you felt so hungry and so tired, but the food that you're eating at that point probably isn't the right types of food that you need to fuel your body in a nutritious way. to give you the
Give you
energy. I'm
energy.
not knocking having a pizza or donut, whatever. Please do it. I love it.
Yeah.
Please do that. Have some wine. But sometimes you actually need to think, I need fuel that's going to fuel me in the right way.
Yeah.
This time.
100%.
What would you say has been your biggest learning curve from the lockdown? Both as like a businesswoman, because you run so many businesses, which is absolutely sensational, but also moving forward, how are you going to take those learning curves and push into the adult world?
Oh gosh. I think I'm very critical on myself. So
Mm.
I've learned to like step back, and I've
Yeah.
always wanted to control everything. Like I have to be the best at whatever I'm doing. I have
I'm
to
exactly the
control
same.
everything that I'm doing. And some things I can't control. Like with Level Up, we were meant to start in summer last year,
Yeah.
basically, bringing our trainers into different studios, and we had 5 studios starting. And right now, like 8 months later, we're still at a point where we've got these trainers on hold, we've got these
Yeah.
contracts on hold, and we can't do it. That's not our fault. It's just
Yeah, it's totally out of your
it's
control because
out of control. And usually I think I'd be beating myself up about it. I'd be like, I need to find a way that we can do this. And it's like, well, actually government law says that no one can enter the studio, so I can't actually do it.
Yeah, it's no reflection of you as a businesswoman or as a trainer or as an individual. It's just life throwing a curveball.
Exactly. And I thought that I always had to have different sources of income, which I do think you should have. Like it is great to have different sources of income. And if one gets cut off, you'll always have the other. And
Yeah.
I ran my own like marketing agency before, where I had about 10 different clients before lockdown, the start 1.0. And they were great clients, like, but they were cosmetic dentists or surgeons or people in the
Yeah.
beauty industry that had their own salons. And those contracts were just like, we have to end right now. And at the beginning, I was like, oh my God,
It's
like,
terrifying.
what is going on? I was so comfortable to, I'm shit scared right now. I don't know what's happening. No, so the whole marketing thing that I actually kind of studied, the business side of things,
Yeah.
that can't happen right now, because I'm gonna have to like reinvent what I'm doing at that side of
Yeah.
things. And then also my training, like one-on-one PTs, that can't happen unless
Yeah.
they go virtual. And some people just don't like virtual, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah, they don't respond to it. They need somebody physically there.
yeah, they really enjoy that human connection, and they don't feel like they can get it from the PTs. So I did like lose some PTs. Thankfully, I've gained some, but you know, initially I was kind of like, oh my God, this is so daunting.
Yeah.
I think I've just realized that, I can't control everything. I need to take a step back.
Mhm.
I'm not failing because some things have gone wrong. This is just life right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to, or I will be able to take that into other situations, like just be a little bit more relaxed, not like so wound up about things.
I totally relate to that. I think it's so hard, and I think not enough people talk about it. Like we see all of these successful business owners or content creators or things in the media all the time about how everyone's doing so great, but no one talks about the setbacks and the learning curves that has given them in order to get where they are. And I totally relate in the sense that the acting industry literally just stopped. Everything I've trained for my entire life just doesn't exist anymore, and then most actors work in the industries that also had to shirt. We call it the muggle job. That disappeared. So I totally relate in having to like step back, adapt, think about what you were going to do, and then try and make it work. But I do think that that's where the true growth is, and actually where
Definitely, I totally agree with that.
where you push forward.
Definitely. I think if it hadn't have happened, I wouldn't have really been able to put the marketing and PR into myself, because before
Yeah.
I was like, why am I doing this for everyone else and I never actually do it for myself? Like that's and then I actually had the chance to do that, and it's like, this is great because I'm actually building my own name now rather than other
Yeah.
people's names. So I've got to take that as such a positive.
I mean, and you're also, I mean, massive kudos to you. I love female badass, like badassery, is that a word? Female badasses, anyway. And the fact that you're a founder of like how many companies? Two companies. You're also a founder of your own brand and PT name. Like that's sensational to be able to balance all of that and still maintain your well-being and be a nice person and have a relationship and be a dog mom. Like, how do you do it?
Well, I haven't had children yet, so that's the true test, isn't it?
Yeah. That'll be the ultimate
I'd need
test
help
of
with that. I'd need nannies, I'm sure.
yeah. That's where
All
we'll
our mums do it. Like, that is a thing. Like, how do you run a business and actually be a mum? That's like my next mindset. Like, how do you do that? That's crazy.
work.
A lot to balance, especially when I'm seeing, like, I'm doing a lot of like calls with like classes and Zoom sessions, one-on-ones with mums, and you see the children in the background and they're so calm, and the kid is like throwing a rock or a truck or whatever, screaming like, "Mom, mom," and I'm like, "Okay, do more push-ups," and then he's like, "Do more. You're not doing it very well, mummy. You're rubbish." And I'm like, "Oh my god, how do you do that?"
Yeah, because this is the thing with pets. You can just like, they'll just bark at you, but then they'll leave you alone. Whereas a child is incessant. They don't stop.
Going, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the ultimate profession, isn't it, mom? Especially because they've had no school and homeschool and stuff. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Homeschool and do your own job at the same time.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Ultimate time management.
But I bet you're quite good at time management because of the nature of your job and that you do so many things.
I'd say yeah, but you know, I'm a little bit OCD with that. That's like the whole at 6 a.m. have to do it. See, my diary's like 6 a.m. walk the dogs. 7 a.m. make sure this, make sure you shower. Then there's like 8
I love
a.m.
this.
9 a.m. class, 10 a.m. PT. It's like it's
Wow.
insane.
It's like the ultimate time blocking I've heard that quite a lot recently, and to be fair, I'm not as strict. Like, I'll put loose times in, but I can be a bit naughty and I don't really listen to them. I'll be like, "Oh, I'll just move that to like 5 o'clock instead."
Can work at any time.
Yeah, literally. But time blocking, definitely, that kind of thing, I think is quite helpful to actually stay on top of stuff.
Otherwise, I think I'd be like, "Oh my god, I've got so many things on my to-do list." I love a to-do list, a virtual to-do list that you just ping it off. To Do by Microsoft is the best app. It's so good. It's so satisfactory.
I love that. I love something that I can tick off or highlight. I'm really OCD. Like, I love a spreadsheet and stuff like that. I'm so lame.
I think that's cool. Very cool.
Thank you. Maybe this is the sign of adulthood, isn't it? That spreadsheets have become my new form of self-care.
Good.
What would be your favourite forms of self-care at the moment?
I think it's all about, I love my skincare products. Although I never put makeup on or anything anymore, I love a skincare routine. I'm obsessed. Yeah. But that's another thing with Josh that's annoying. Not that he's that annoying. He uses all my skincare products.
I'd be livid.
Like, do you really need my hyaluronic acid? No, you don't need that.
No, you don't need that.
You don't need
Step
it.
away from the vitamin C products, please.
Exactly. The retinol is not for you. It's for me. I do. Yeah, I love a good, vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, SPF every single day. I'm getting old, as I said. Approaching 30. Gotta make sure my SPF is on.
I know. I wish I'd been taught about SPF sooner, because I didn't really, I've always worn sun cream when I was on holiday and stuff, but I didn't really put sun cream on my face unless I was away. And I was like, oh my goodness, if I'd have learnt about this when I was 14, 15, imagine how much better my skin would be. Whereas now I'm trying to play catch up. And I'm like, I'll wear SPF in winter now because I'm like, must prevent.
Always. It even helps with being on your laptop and stuff all the time.
Oh, from the rays and things like that. There's so much learning I need to do. What are your favourite products at the moment?
Murad. That's a great brand.
Yeah, I'm a massive advocate for those.
So good. So Biobargi. Amazing.
Yeah.
And The Ordinary.
Yes.
So cheap, but so good.
And just pure and simple.
Exactly. So yeah, 3 brands that I swear by.
I love that so much. Would you say that your skincare routine is quite long, or do you like to keep it simple?
I'd say it's fairly simple. I mean, well, it's not. I cleanse, I tone, and then I have a serum that I put in a moisturizer. Then I have a sealing moisturizer. Sometimes I use a vitamin C every other day. Then I use a retinol every other day in the evening. Yeah, no, it's not that simple. It's quite long.
Ultimate level of bougie.
Yeah, it's intense. Write it down and everything. Make sure I did it that day and not that day.
Yes, so you don't overdose on the vitamin C.
Exactly.
And what other practices would you say, or that you would offer to other people as a good form to make sure that they stay on top of themselves, be kind to themselves?
I think not putting too much pressure on yourself is a good one. And for me, I just do think my working out is self-care for me. I feel like it's a form of therapy. I feel so good when I've just done a session, and it doesn't even have to be that intensive. It can be anything from yoga to bar to a HIIT session, just really depending on my mood. As long as I've moved, I feel so much better.
Yes, I agree, especially because we're stuck in the same 4 walls as well. I think changing your scenery and just moving shifts all that stagnancy, doesn't it?
Exactly. And I love going on what I call manifestation walks. So
Oh, tell me more.
it's like my favorite music. I'll pop it on and I go on a really long walk and I'll really think about the things that I want to achieve that day, that week, that month, whatever it is. That's about half of the walk. And then it kind of then turns into more gratitude of what I'm already appreciative of and what I already have and how far I've already come. And I kind of just think about all those things whilst on my little brisk marching walk.
Little walk. I love that so much.
There's actually I've discovered in lockdown a lot of really nice walks in London, which has really surprised me.
Yeah.
There was like a Japanese garden in Holland Park that I didn't know existed, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really to me, actually.
Yeah, because you're South Kensington, aren't you?
High Street Ken.
High Street Ken, the gorgeous part.
It's cute. It's very, very nice.
I like the idea of manifesting though whilst you're walking, because I feel I always want to bring manifestation practices into my life, but I'm not a person that can sit there with a crystal and be, I want this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just feels like I'm just sat there like an idiot.
What am I doing?
Help me, like, is this gonna work? Crystal, please just help.
Mate, tell me something. Make it work. Yeah, no, I love to be just like out and just thinking about those things. And that's another thing, like evening gratitude diaries, I think is really great as well.
I've got one of those 1 line a day journals, and I started it the year I graduated drama school, because it was a really difficult transition to go from this full-time intensive training to being like thrown into the world and having no idea what was going on. And I'm so glad that I started it, because now every year you look back and you can see like where you were this time last year.
It's amazing.
Which is so good.
Yeah. We progress so much. We're always so hard on ourselves, but you actually grow so much, and looking back makes you realize how much you have.
100%. There's that really corny quote, isn't it? And you only look back to see how far you've come, or something like that.
Exactly.
So corny, but so true. And one of my questions that I like to ask everyone is one thing that you wish you were taught in school.
Oh, accountancy. I'm like, what the hell? I don't know how to do finance, all that shit. I mean, I had to like outsource an accountant. And that's bloody expensive.
It really annoys me.
Could have like told me all about this whole VAT and tax and corporate tax, all that shit, because I have no flipping clue.
Yeah, honestly.
And someone's email like, Aimee, did you pay this? What the fuck is this? I don't even know what it is. I've never even heard of it in my life. So no, I didn't pay it because I didn't even know I had to pay it. What? So I wish they were like, I wish you learned more practical things.
Yes. Things that were actually functional rather than algebra and like Pythagoras' theorem.
Because I've got a calculator on my phone. So that's good. And then I think more kind of like emotions and how to deal with your emotions a bit more.
Yeah.
Therapy could be like more talked about in school, like a thing that you did. And yoga, because one of my friends grew up in India, and yoga was something that they had to do every morning. That was a class.
Oh wow, almost like PE but better. Yeah, that would have been so beneficial, I think, at school, to have that mindfulness and to connect inwards rather than being forced to play hockey, and if you weren't sporty then you were just kind of outcast from the year.
Yeah, like, oh god, there's a loser over there, aren't they?
I wasn't even bad at sport. I was good at like ball sports, so things like volleyball, netball, that kind of thing, but anything like on the floor, so like hockey, football, all of that, get me out. I hated it so much. I was literally just like, please let me leave. So yeah, at school I used to just put my singing lessons in, or pretend I was at a singing lesson, and they never questioned anyway.
Fair enough. No, that makes it's weird how like sports day used to be a very daunting day for me.
I hated it.
Even though I was kind of good, I was good, and everyone was like, Amy's going to sprint this bit. No, Amy's actually so nervous she's going to vomit. Like, correction, Amy's not doing anything. She's going to be in the corner, hide behind some other kids, pretend she's not there. There's a lot of pressure, isn't it? And I think it's only when you look back, it's like, that wasn't necessary. And all those girls that were bitches, actually, that's irrelevant now. Like, you think it's such a big part of your life, and of course it is, but you actually grow up and you find your people, which is so nice.
I was talking about this with my housemates the other day about how like there's always that popular group at school, isn't there, that everyone thinks is the best, and you spend like your whole life kind of being on the outskirts and feeling like you don't fit in if you're not part of that. But then actually, like you said, when you go to college and uni and actually adult life, one of the best things about it is that you realize that most of those people that were probably in that popular group in the first place are still doing the same thing they've always done and haven't grown and changed, when you've actually found who you are, found your people.
Exactly. It's so true.
And it doesn't matter anymore. And I love the idea of therapy as well. I think I know when I was at school, if someone was seeing a therapist, it was it just wasn't spoken about. Mental health just wasn't spoken about in general, or feeling sad wasn't either.
Yeah. And I think there's so much that happens to everyone. You're gonna feel sad, you're gonna feel stressed.
Yeah.
And it can be taken to another level. You could have depression, you could have anxiety, whatever it is.
Mhm.
But I think that should just be accepted and spoken about and kind of like a thing that, you just do.
Yeah, I think everybody should have a therapist or go to therapy at some point, because I think everyone has some form of trauma or emotions they don't understand, that actually it would be really beneficial to like dig deep into. And
Of course. Do that childhood, Margot. Let's find it. Find your shit. I
let's
like it.
do it.
Yeah,
Talk to your inner child, process your
exactly.
emotions.
Do it.
I'm so bad because I'm really good at offering other people advice and listening and kind of being the therapist, but I'm the worst in actually acknowledging it myself. Like I'll start
The same.
bullying myself for no reason. Like the other day I'd had a breakout on my face, and I messaged my boyfriend and was like, I'm not coming. And he was like, why? And I was like, because you can do a dot to dot puzzle on my face, and this is all this and this. And I'd basically blamed the whole day on my skin, when actually something had happened in the morning that probably made me feel really sad. And that was what was actually going on. But in my head, I was like, no, it's because my face is a dot to dot puzzle. It's ridiculous, isn't it? How you just like spiral out of nowhere for no reason, just because you refuse to acknowledge everything.
It's crazy. Yeah, but I'm the exact same. I can be like so considerate and thinking about other people and how they should
Yeah.
process it and what they should do. And myself, I'm like, Aimee, you're an idiot. Why did you do that?
Yeah, there's no
Are you stupid?
compassion at all. It's like literally 0 to 100 on
And
the
the
same
thing I
page.
say to myself, I would never say to anyone ever.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Like you should be the kindest to yourself, because it's like you're
Yeah.
your own best friend. Really, you've got to live with it. You want to feel happy. So
Yeah,
put
so
yourself up.
true. One of my friends always says if I say anything horrible about myself or like self-deprecate in front of her, she's always like, be nice to my friend. And I like that.
Oh,
Don't be mean to my friend. And I'm like, oh, that's nice.
that's really cute.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend trying that. I mean, I'm still like, again, like I need to practice what I preach, but
Okay. I'm
yeah,
trying. Working process.
we're working through it. It's slow progress, not perfection.
Yeah, exactly.
And to finish it all off, what is your favourite thing about being an adult? We talk about how adulting's really hard, but actually, what's your favourite thing about being an adult?
I think it's just making my own decisions. Like I can do what the fuck I want. Like out of lockdown. If I want to go on holiday tomorrow, I'm going on holiday tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
I just make my own decisions. I don't want to eat the broccoli. I don't eat the broccoli, and I don't care. Like it's great. Those things are great. Making my own decisions. Perfect. Love it.
100% having autonomy over your own life.
Exactly. And I guess I'm really lucky that I've never had the parents that have kind of put things on me and expected
Yeah.
that I should do certain things. And, I mean, for some people, they always thought it was a bit weird that my parents were like, what would Aimee like to do? Whatever she wants to do, she can do it.
Yeah.
In every sense, like, what does she want to eat? What does she want to do? What's her day going to be
Oh,
like?
wow.
Like, every sense, they've been very kind of like chilled about it all.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I've always been lucky in that aspect. And that going into my adult life, I guess, is even better because I can just choose to do these holidays or whatever it is.
Yeah. And I guess the way that you were brought up has given you the confidence to be able to go forth with your decisions and not doubt yourself, and to be able to orchestrate your own day and not need someone to tell you what to do. Because I think most people are probably the reverse, in that they're so used to everyone else controlling their life that they don't know how to control their own.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's made me very bossy. My boyfriend, God, Aimee, you're so bossy. I am bossy.
You just know what you want.
Exactly. That's how I see it.
I'm exactly the same. I like to think I'm not a stereotypical only child, but the only child comes out in me every
Well,
now
my
and
only child comes out a lot.
then.
Like, people are like, you're an only. I'm nearly like, I say it, I'm nearly 30, and people are like, you're an only child, aren't you? Yes, I am. And what?
Yes, I am. Is that a problem?
Yeah. No, I don't think it is.
We just like things to be our way, I
Exactly. Exactly.
think.
Exactly.
We're not used to having to like accommodate for others. I think that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. So true.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I've really enjoyed chatting to you, and it's also so nice to see your face.
No, it's been so long.
Because it's been so long. Yeah, as you mentioned, I met Aimee at Bodyism, which is the gym that both of us used to work at. And we used to have like little sneaky chats in the corner, normally over like pancakes or something, which I haven't had in so long. I really need to go back and have their pancakes.
Yeah, the best pancake.
Oh, they're like, I think there's a recipe on their website for the
Same.
Bodyism.
It's not
But yeah, I think it's just nice to have someone else make them for you, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, definitely. For sure.
Oh, also, quick question. I saw on your story you use the eco egg.
Yes.
Is it good? Because I've been researching this for so long because I really don't like using the squishy pod things because they're so bad for the environment.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Does it work?
Because I don't fully know if it's good or not. It
Oh, okay.
smells amazing.
That's
The
good.
drying ones are really good. I've
Yeah.
not used the washing ones, but the dryer, it has like these a scent within the egg for the drying eggs, and it
Oh, okay.
roll out the creases, and it smells amazing. So that's good to help dry your clothes and iron them at the same time.
Perfect.
The washing ones, I'm not sure. Like, it seems very weird that there's these little mini
Yeah.
balls that you put into the egg that washes your clothes. I can't quite grasp
Yeah,
that.
my brain.
My brain's like, what? And it works for 70 washes, apparently.
So you don't have to refill it every time?
No, it's just there. 70 washes.
What?
I presume when the little balls have disintegrated, then it's done. But how does it
Maybe.
wash? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, because I'm
That's
so
very
used to,
nice.
I'm so used to having to add softener and then like a squishy tab and then,
Exactly, but this is all of it. It's the detergent and the fabric conditioner in one. But,
oh, wow.
I'll let you know about that because
Yeah, keep me
it might
updated
just
on
be like a fad.
this is what I worry about because I get sucked into these kind of Instagram trends
Me
thinking that
too.
they're going to work
Yeah,
and they're just not the same.
it's not the same. But you want to be good for the environment, right? So
Yeah,
we've got to give it a whirl. We can say we tried.
we moved forward.
There's also another brand called Living Clean.
Oh,
Another
okay.
brand which is like eco-friendly, smells amazing, pet safe, obviously.
Obviously, for the
Obviously.
babies.
And yeah, they're so good. They send you in initially your little pots, which are in like tin spray cans.
Yeah,
And then they come in like these little packets of refill packets, and then they
yeah.
send the packets off and away, and then they can recycle them, send them
Oh,
to
that's so
brands, and
good.
make trousers,
Oh,
leggings.
wow, I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And that's called Living Proof, did you say?
Living Clean.
Living Clean. Why did I say proof? I don't know where I got that from.
That
But
is the brand. That's the hair brand. Dry
the hair
shampoo.
brand. There we go. I knew I'd got it from somewhere.
Yeah.
And can you tell everyone where to find you, all of your links, anything you've got up and coming that we all need to know about? I mean, you're always up to something.
I've got new sites coming and new events like bar and brunch events and big things happening whenever we can
That'll
open
be fun.
which will be at this new place called Chameleon, which is in
Ooh.
Marylebone,
Yeah.
which is opening whenever it can open, which will be very exciting. And then nothing that I mean, I've got retreats coming up, which are exciting in Jamaica, and one's coming up in Saint Tropez, which will be at the end of the year.
Lovely. That would be a nice form of self-care for everyone to invest in.
Exactly. And yeah, I guess I'm always doing little different bits and bobs. So you can find it all probably on my Instagram is the easiest thing to see.
Yeah.
Which is Aimee Victoria Long.
Fabulous. I just love your name. It just is so bougie and fabulous. It just rolls off the tongue. You would have been a great celeb if you'd have gone into the acting world. Do you know what I mean? Aimee Victoria Long, great acting name. Love it.
Maybe I will.
Yeah, transition over. We'd love to have you.
Thank you. It was nice chatting to you.
Yeah, you
Do have a good day.
I will, and you too. Have a good one, babe. And
You
bye
too.
to your little gorgeous baby. I'm so glad he's better.
Bye. Thank
Oh,
you.
look. I'm obsessed.
See you, babe. Bye.
Bye.